Let me tell you something you already know. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Every champion was once a contender that refused to give up. Most companies would lose hope after taking out back-to-back emergency loans, having the worst stock price in the industry, and a negative ROS. But not Baldwin. We knew that persistence can change failure into extraordinary achievement. This is what inspired us to change. This is what earned us a 90.1 relative score and the highest market cap in the industry. This is Baldwin.
Hello, my name is Sarah Hackett, and I, along with my colleagues Adam Carnicelli, Jessica Galley, Dinah Norcus, Jack Mangan, and Alex Tucker, comprise the outgoing Baldwin 24 management team. Over the past 8 years, we have made decisions regarding all critical aspects of Baldwin's operations, including research and development, marketing, production, and finance. Throughout the duration of our time with the company, we developed and adapted our corporate strategy and corresponding tactical executions as a result of increasing levels of industry insight and understanding. In passing on the torch to what has grown to be a successful venture, we ask that you please keep in mind one message by which our culture has been fostered. Indication of success lies not in past performance, but rather in the sustainability and growth of the company moving forward. Baldwin 24 Corporation successfully achieved third place in our industry, with an overall final score relative of 90.1. We proudly realized the highest market capitalization in the industry of $180 million and the second highest cumulative profit of approximately $78.5 million, lagging the market leader by less than 1%. Now, as we prepare to move on to new endeavors, we would like to share our experiences and lessons learned with you, the incoming administration.
Back in 2016, we sat down and outlined the strategy we hoped would bring us success in the future. We intended to be a modified differentiator with a product lifecycle focus, offering thoughtfully positioned sensor products, priced competitively in the market, and still reasonable enough to suit our consumers. It was our aim to provide the best value and overall experience to our customer demographic with 3 complementary strategic objectives. First and foremost, we planned to keep a low cost base by way of operational efficiency. This was to be achieved by making investments in automation and TQM initiatives. We expected this to offset the high cost of human capital and therefore enhance profit margins. Our reduced cost base would subsequently encourage significant investment into research and development, enabling the establishment of a strong presence in both market sectors. This type of expenditure would keep designs competitive in their placement in terms of age, positioning, and mean time before failure, as the products transition and change in appeal from high to low tech. Lastly, we plan to uphold a competitive advantage through marketing our innovation. To realize this vision, it was of paramount importance that we apply marketing tactics that adequately corresponded to our product offerings. It was our goal to become industry leaders in terms of promotion, achieving 100% overall customer accessibility and awareness by round 3. Guided by our initial strategy, we set off to implement these tactics throughout the first 3 years of Baldwin 24's operations. However, upon reflection, we realized that our short-term tactical execution were resulting in missed opportunities, as well as misalignment with our long-term strategic endeavors. Baldwin subconsciously adopted competitive disadvantages due to our hypersensitivity to market forces and competitors around our zones. This led us to be temporarily reactive in our decision-making and further resulted in poor performances throughout the first few rounds.
Our conservative forecasting in the first round prevented us from achieving full market share and revenue potential, and thus, we decided to tentatively discard our intended strategy. Further, the employment of increased product prices and dicey production schedules in subsequent rounds resulted in low inventory turnover and the incurrence of an $8 million emergency loan. The newly established plans for Baldwin were made continually more obsolete due to the fact industry competitors were also adjusting their metrics. Thorough review of our processes amplified our understanding of the delayed startup nature and long-term prospects of our approach. Our predominant competitive disadvantage was inaccurate forecasting, as the lack of experience in this domain caused both overproduction and underproduction, in addition to inadequate pricing estimates. We regrouped after the third round and planned our research and strategy. Core activities stemmed from narrow policy until Baldwin 24 was no longer operating at a loss. Effectively capitalizing on our leverage position allowed our organization to gain financial stability. Short-term conservative forecasts and minimized investing ventures in both R&D and TQM allowed us to repay the remaining $4 million emergency loan by the end of the fifth round. After settling our losses, Baldwin 24 Corporation made one final shift in strategy that would monumentally enhance our final three performance rounds. We placed even stronger emphasis on product development in the form of R&D expenditure to ensure consumer buying criteria were met with utmost certainty. We then priced our products very competitively and increased our production to realize greater market share and sales. As a result, we revolutionized the low-tech segment by undercutting our competition. In our industry, where prices had remained stagnant between $32 and $35, we cut our prices to $28.40 in the seventh round. This trailblazing initiative was a result of our new first mover strategy. Due to the fact that low-tech consumers valued price at 41% of their buying criteria, this drastic reduction in our product's pricing resulted in our takeover of market share and increased revenues. We learned from our mistakes of being reactive, instead implementing a proactive solution to the surprise of our competitors. Subsequently, in anticipation of our competition also cutting their price in final rounds, we lowered our price even further to $25.60, resulting in a sustained high market share and even higher sales. In addition to the increased revenue, our profits skyrocketed in comparison to those of our competitors. This was because we simultaneously invested into automation, reaching a rating of 10 for 3 of our 4 products. This led to the cheapest labor costs of any products in the segment, enhancing our margins and profitability. Our performance in these final 3 rounds was the most successful of any company in our industry.
Our final score relative was calculated based on averages, thus our early round shortcomings were factored into closing figures. However, if one were to judge a company's future prospects based on most recent performance trends, it is clear that Baldwin 24 Corporation is the most viable firm moving forward. In the last 3 rounds, in particular, the final round, Baldwin achieved the highest market share of 19.97%, the highest contribution margin of 51.9%, the highest return on assets of 26.3%, the highest return on sales of 20.4%, and the highest net profit of almost $28 million. We were also able to issue a dividend of $18 to shareholders, more than double that of any other competitor in the industry. Our management team is leaving you with the products at 100% awareness, as well as the greatest asset base of any industry competitor, valued roughly at $105,000. If your incoming management team employs these means effectively, following our recommendations, we can assure you that you will be well versed in continuing to lead Baldwin to supremacy.
We believe that there are a few different things that need to be addressed in terms of maintaining the level of success attained by Baldwin 24 Corporation moving forward.
First and foremost, we recommend that incoming management introduce our new product, Benz, into the high-tech sector. High-tech market segment analysis in the Foundation Fast Track indicates a New Year segment growth rate of 19.9% in contrast to that of 9.9% in the low-tech. In consideration of their 46.3% and 53.7% respective total industry segment percentages, we infer that the 10% difference in segment growth will result in the high-tech surpassing the low-tech in size in the near term. Our gain in managerial acumen has also allowed us to come to the realization that it is hard to keep a product at the age of 0. Understanding that this is a considerable factor in terms of customer buying criteria at 29% at ideal age 0 in the high-tech, we should always be trying to create new optimal products as opposed to investing in age reduction through R&D in existing products.
It is also in the best interest of the company to continue to invest in automation. Over the course of the simulation, our management team has been able to realize the value in this form of operations management. Increasingly consistent levels of cash flow will permit you to implement such expenditure and thus expedite the production process. Sustained integration of automation has and will continue to increase both profitability and the company's competitive advantage in the low-tech sector. You must make note that automation is to be implemented only when a product is deemed to best fit the customer buying criteria of the low-tech consumer.
The first lesson we learned from Capsim was the importance of having a vision and foresight in terms of the future state of the industry in which a company is conducting business. Market conditions are not static, and therefore, organizations must plan several periods into the future to gain sustainable advantage over competitors. In addition, we learned that a cohesive decision-making approach goes a long way in ensuring that our departments are working cohesively. It is critical to understand how each area, whether it be marketing or production, relies on one another, and that in order to see true success, all functions of the business must be synergized.
The past 8 years
Have certainly treated us well.
Now, as we prepare to move into an early retirement,
We would like to wish you
The next generation of management. The best of luck in the future.